In this video, we're going to talk about how do you work around your current job so you can get more opportunities. When it comes to working around your current job, typically I'm going to say the current job is probably the 9 to 5, as that's what we kind of know in popular culture, which means that the time outside of that is when you could be working around your current job to do work that's going to get you to where you want to go. So this is going to involve probably working the opposite, 5 till 9, and weekends as well. And that's perfectly possible. 9 o'clock isn't too late to finish. And like I said, if you do weekends as well and you're really committed and focused and efficient, this can work very well and really, after a few months, make a significant difference in the sort of progress you're having. The question I ask everyone who's looking to kind of work around their current job is like, why are you taking on extra work in the first place? Is it to earn extra money? Is it to develop a portfolio? Is it to move to another agency? Is it to change industries altogether and learn a new skill? What is it that you want to change? You need to know the answers to those questions, because if you aren't sure, there is a very likely chance that you're going to leave your current job without thinking it through. And it's the classic out of the frying pan into the fire, and you're just going to end up working a similar job, but for someone else doing the same sort of stuff. And all of that effort to make that transition from leaving the old job to the new is going to be wasted because you've just fallen into another trap. So we need to make sure that why are we, like I said, why are you taking on the extra work? What do you want to change? And what's the plan of action? Because without a plan, it's going to be very hard to keep you motivated and focused. Because, like, for example, if I want to get up and write a book, which I did over the summer, it's very hard to get up at 5 o'clock to write for a couple of hours if you don't have a reason to do it. But because I knew I had a book to write and I had a deadline, that was enough to get my ass out of bed. And once I'm up, I've had a can of Red Bull or a coffee and I'm away. So, like I said, having a plan helps keep you motivated and inspired and gives you real focus and real thought into what you're doing. So first, have a plan of deciding why you're taking on the extra work and what it's going towards. Secondly, always do your job 100%. So the job you're working in currently, that you're working around, as you put it, you have to give 100% to that job out of respect for your boss and the people you work with and the clients. The reason being is not only is it the right thing to do, but if anything goes wrong or you need referrals or help, or maybe you need to go back for some extra jobs, the boss is far likely to take you back if you've been a nice person and you've been helpful. So don't burn your bridges. That's the main reason for that. When you are doing the spec work, I would say that the work you're doing outside the job should really be to build a portfolio that is going to allow you to do the work you want to do, ideally. So it's fine to take on sort of extra paid work to earn more, but ultimately what you want to be thinking about is, well, no, I want to build a portfolio which is going to allow me to leave my current job and work with clients that will pay me even more than I'm currently earning doing two types of work. So the way to do that really is to build a portfolio for a client in mind that is very specific and is going to attract only them. And if you think of it like fishing, if you want to catch a very specific fish, you need to know exactly like what bait they like, where they come out to feed, and where you're going to catch them. And it's the same with clients. So this is your chance to do kind of ideal client work that is kind of spec work and sort of, various takes on projects or clients they might already have, that is designed solely to appeal to only them, so that when you've built the portfolio and a bit of money left over, you can approach them and hope that they're going to offer you a job, which means you can make that transition from your old job to your new job, and you've now ended up somewhere you want to end up. So always make sure that the work is excellent. It totally resonates with what the client is doing. You show that you understand their problems in their industry, and show your expertise through case studies, not just nice pictures. I personally would always look to take advantage of doing that kind of creative work by really expressing myself and having fun with it. Quite often, we all know the problem. We get jobs that we do for clients, but then the realities of how that job is going to work sometimes dampens the creativity. And then when it's finished, we don't really want to put it in our portfolio, which means the work is no good to us. With this, you have complete creative control, so you can express yourself. Now, this is the trick. If you do a spec project that is based on nothing but pure creative expression, people can undermine it and say, well, it's not really real, so it doesn't count. And they're right. However, my workaround with that is to look at some sort of pop culture reference and show your expertise by updating or changing or improving that reference. So If you're into sport, you could rebrand a sports team. You could rebrand a pop band. You could go back and look at movies and go, right, how can I update an old famous movie business? The point being is the pop culture reference, which is popular, not only means that if you do the work and you publish it, it's more likely to be shared because people like that, but also it gives the client already has the cultural reference points and the context in their head so that they can fill in the gaps and they can see, okay, I know what the previous was because I'm a fan of that TV show too. And I can see how you've updated it and I really like what you've done. So this way, we all know it's spec work, but we're having fun with it. And that's massively important. So like I said, be sure you know why you're taking on extra work and then make the most of that time by building something that's actually going to get you where you really want to go, not just short-term monetary goals, but long-term career goals. And if you do that and you have fun with it, you'll be fine.